She dialed 911 over my backyard barbecue, clutching a laminated clipboard and a dog leash with no dog attached. The real kicker? Every guest at my cookout was 911. I had a SWAT officer flipping burgers, a DEA agent guarding the cooler like it was a drug bust, and my firefighter pal debating brisket temps like it was a national crisis. So when Linda marched over, screeching about illegal gatherings and questionable meats, then smugly announced she'd called the cops, we didn't stop her. We just waited. She had no clue the police she'd summoned were already here, munching on my ribs and joking about citing her for crimes against barbecue sauce. It started as a simple plan, invite my buddies over for a laid-back Saturday cookout. Nothing crazy, just ribs, a few beers, and catching up with the crew I'd worked with over the years. I'm retired now, but my circle's still all public service paramedics, detectives, agents and firefighters who charge into flames for kicks. We weren't blasting tunes or lighting fireworks, just laughing and chatting while the smoky aroma of meat wafted through the cul-de-sac like a siren call for meat lovers. But every neighborhood has that one person who thinks peace hinges on their ability to control everyone else. Ours is Linda, an unofficial watchdog for grown-ups. She's not elected or appointed, but she's got rules scribbled on her own letterhead, a binder labeled community standards, and a silence obsession that's practically a religion. She once called animal control over a parrot whistling "The Price is Right" theme too loud. Another time she reported a guy for non-compliant flower beds, whatever that means. The moment she heard our music, barely above a murmur, she popped up behind my fence like a horror flick VY lane. Her face was puckered like she'd sucked a lemon, and she waved her phone, filming us like we were fugitives caught mid-bite. "Excuse me," she bellowed, "you're breaking Rule 12. My old firefighter buddy, Tom, squinted. "What's Rule 12? She flipped open her binder, excessive outdoor assembly with meat smoke and audible enjoyment. Sarah, a SWAT officer with a wit sharper than her aim, whispered, "That's not real, right?" I grinned. "Not unless we're secretly running a rib syndicate." Linda didn't laugh. She jabbed the air like she was popping a balloon. "I've already called the police," she declared, triumphant, like she just won a war she'd started 5 minutes ago. My brother-in-law, Javier, a detective with no tolerance for nonsense, raised an eyebrow. "You called the cops on us?" Linda smirked. "Yes, let's see how long your little illegal meat fest lasts." We swapped looks. DEA agent Derek choked on his soda, stifling a laugh. Sarah flashed her badge and pretended to inspect the coleslaw for EVY Denke. Linda spun on her heel and stormed off, expecting us to scatter. We didn't. We grabbed more drinks and extra chairs because we knew what was coming. 15 minutes later, flashing lights rolled up. 2 rookie patrol officers stepped out, looking baffled. Linda raced toward them, flailing like a windblown traffic cone. "There they are," she yelled. "They've taken over the street. I suspect unpermitted grilling." The officers eyed us, Tom in his firehouse tee, Sarah by a cooler marked hydration ops, Derek wavwaying tongs dramatically. Officer Lopez squinted. "Is that Agent Derek?" Derek saluted lazily. "Hey Lopez, glad you could make it." The other cop blinked. "Detective Javier?" Javier flashed his badge with a shrug. "Even cops gotta eat." Linda's jaw dropped. She scanned the crowd, finally clocking the badges, IDs, law enforcement tattoos, and tactical boots she'd somehow missed. She'd called the police on the police. Her face went from red to pale in seconds. This is a setup," she stammered. "You can't fake being cops to dodge a noise complaint." Sarah snorted. "Fake." Tom stepped up, patting her binder like he was issuing a ticket. "Impersonating a neighborhood czar's a serious offense too." Linda's eyes darted between us and the officers, who were barely hiding their grins. One muttered into his radio, clearly just checking in. "False alarm, just a yard full of first responders getting hassled by a lady who thinks ribs are illegal." Instead of slinking away, Linda doubled down. "This is a scam. You're conspiring to intimidate me." Sarah sipped her soda. "Lady, we're just trying to eat. You're the one faking emergencies over pork." Linda retreated, finger wagging. "This isn't over. I know my rights." Javier shook his head. "So do we. We teach the class." She vanished around the corner, flustered but not beaten, plotting her next move like a soap opera antagonist. The officer stayed a bit, grabbed some food, and promised to drop by off-duty next time. The backyard hummed back to life, music ticked up. Ribs finished cooking, Sarah joked about a decoy party to throw Linda off. But even as we laughed, I glanced at the fence. Linda wasn't done. You could feel a storm brewing in a blazer. By sunrise, Linda declared war. Not with words or another 911 call, but with manure. I stepped outside, coffee in hand, and froze. On my pristine lawn, outlined in a deliberate pile of fertilizer, was a giant skull, angry eyebrows, cartoonish teeth, the works. A threat? A warning? A dung-fueled hex? I called Derek, who lives nearby and takes his DEA surveillance hobby seriously. He showed up with a flash drive and a smirk. His cameras caught it all, Linda in a tracksuit, hauling a fertilizer bag at 2 a.m. Like a low-budget VY lane. She tripped over her own lawn gnome, cursed a watching squirrel, and spent 20 minutes perfecting her masterpiece, stepping back to admire it like a manure Michelangelo. I looped the VY Deo in our neighborhood chat. Tom sent laughing emojis and a grill pic captioned, Skull Va Ribs Special. Sarah suggested framing stills as wanted. Lawn felon. Even Javor, usually deadpan, quipped, hazmat or let the grass win? Linda didn't just overreact, she escalated every petty gripe into a holy war. She couldn't just be annoyed. She had to be the martyr, and she needed an audience. That afternoon, she went live on Facebook, standing on her porch, wind tousling her oversprayed hair, sunglasses hiding her fury. This, she intoned, panning to my house, is what happens when lawlessness festers in a quiet community. She zoomed in on her clipboard of fake rules. These people are using badges to harass innocents. It's a barbecue coup. The comments didn't go her way. You okay? Did you hit your head? One asked. Another, is pork a government weapon now? My favorite, plot twist, the brisket's the real enemy. Linda didn't flinch. She doubled down, printing flyers about suspicious law enforcement cookouts and stuffing mailboxes. She even handed one to Derek while he walked his dog. He took it, nodded, folded it into an origami cow, and gave it back. But here's the thing about Linda. Push her long enough and the pushback comes. For the first time, our neighborhood united not over a party or meeting, but sheer exhaustion with her antics. People shared Linda tales. She'd called the city over aggressive Halloween decor, reported a kid for permitless rollerblading, griped about wind chimes being emotionally disruptive. She once tried to nix a toddler's birthday party over bubble hazards. So we fought her pettiness with unity. Sarah dubbed it Operation Block Re-VY Val. We planned another barbecue, this time for all. We knocked on doors, made real and VY Tez, even roped in the mayor not for permission, but because he owed Derek a favor and loved ribs. Linda caught wind and stood across the street, arms crossed, notebook out, muttering like she was prepping a courtroom speech. She snapped photos, measured noise with her phone, tried calling animal control over grill smoke, repelling birds. We didn't stop, we leaned in. Tom made Linda Free Zone shirts. Derek hung a live laugh, enforce banner. Sarah framed Linda's fake citation like a trophy. We set up a photo booth with handcuffs, fire hats, and brisket cutouts. The barbecue day was a sitcom finale. Every neighbor showed up, people who hadn't spoken in months laughed over hot dogs, kids played tag, music floated free. Linda stood in the middle filming, narrating like a bitter documentarian. This is society's collapse meat-fueled chaos. The mayor arrived in a Hawaiian shirt, took a rib from Tom, chewed and said, "Best in town." Linda waved her clipboard at him. He raised the rib. "I'm off duty, lady. Let me eat." That broke her. She stormed off, fuming, plotting. The battle was ours, but the war wasn't over.